He was a man with vision. He was a man before his time. I thank Judge Hoffines each and every day that I played here.
While Judge Roy Hoffines has been dead since 1982, his legacy in the form of the Houston Baseball Club and the Astrodome has lived on. Still, the impending final baseball game in the Dome will have a deep effect on the Hoffines family.
Well, I think there's a lot of my family in that building, awful lot of it. When my father died, in fact, his funeral procession went around the stadium twice to give you some idea of how he and the family felt about that building. That the baseball team is not playing anymore in that stadium is disappointing to us. But speaking for myself, time moves on. The Astrodome was built in a generation of multi-purpose stadia. Similar types of stadia followed it across the United States for the next 10 years, but we've gone back to another pattern now. And the reclamation of downtown Houston is very important to this community. And so the fact that the Astros will be playing downtown in a brand new arena, the fact that the Astros came to Houston as a result of the efforts of my family, all of that makes me feel proud. It's not just this building. It's the franchise, it's baseball in Houston that I think our family's proud of.
But where did Judge Hoffines get the idea for a dome stadium in the first place?
It was the air conditioning aspect of it that got him interested first. He had seen and been a fan of Buckminster Fuller's. Now, the apocryphal story is that he got the great idea of the dome by touring the Colosseum in Rome. I don't believe that to be the case. I think it grew up practically where at the same time he was considering ideas of how you cover large air-conditioned spaces for retail purposes, the baseball thing came along. He married those two ideas and went on to create the concept of the Astrodome.
But the dome after construction was hardly perfect. Outfielders couldn't see fly balls against the skylights during day games. Something had to be done.
Well, we were lucky because those first few games in the dome were all night games. It gave us time to paint the ceiling, and we worry about the consequence of dying grass later. Well, that first year, it was simple. We simply went out there and painted the dead grass. Literally, we painted it, spray painted it, made it look green. And if you look back at the photographs of that first year, it looks like pretty healthy grass out there. It was dead, but it had been painted. The second year, not so easy. The second year, we actually put sawdust on the playing field that would absorb the paint, and we painted the sawdust, large chunks of sawdust. We painted the sawdust. It of course, created a tremendously fast infield, which kind of helped us. We felt that gave us something of an advantage. It created a tremendously fast infield, but the players obviously didn't like the surface. It was in the third year that we made our deal with Monsanto. They installed this new product called, didn't have a name at the time, but this new product that we named AstroTurf in an arrangement with them where they would put it in. The cost would be minimal. The amount of money that we owed Monsanto was mostly offset by advertising that they bought in the radio and television networks, which the Astros always operated on their own while my dad was in charge. And in return, we named it AstroTurf, and it won worldwide recognition for that and is still called that this day.
The Astrodome was thus the first circular all-purpose stadium, the first with a roof and air conditioning, the first with artificial turf, and a couple of other things.
Of any baseball, or for that matter, football arena in the country. The skybox concept originated in the Astrodome in Houston and was my father's idea. The other thing is what's now generally referred to as Diamond Beam. The first of those center screen action screens, what you might, television screens, whatever you might call them, appeared in the Astrodome. It was the first one in the country. And from that grew all of the similar things. The technology improved, of course, over the years. But the Domes was the third.
Game series before what should be the largest crowd to ever see a game here in the Astrodome. Over 55,000 fans on hand for this one tonight. That is what the expected crowd is. Kevin Eschenfelder, welcome you back to Southwest tonight alongside Greg Lucas. And you get to these big games, Greg, and you need your big players to step up. That's what Jeff Bagwell's looking to do tonight.
Big players and big help. 4 runs in the first inning. That last shot, by the way, came right from that 4. Atlanta has scored 4 in the first against the Mets. Thought I'd drag that in because it's a playoff atmosphere. Really, it is. A lot of people think the playoffs have started tonight. I asked Jeff Bagwell if he concurs.